want to introduce to you a team to me, my all-courageous team. My all-courageous. You're going to meet some kids here today that you're going to be absolutely blown away. Can I have them come up here, my all-courageous team? Bring them up here, Mary. Bring them up here. Bring them up here. Let's get them up here. Let's get these kids up here. Let's stand up, man. Yeah. Give me a hug. You guys get up front. Get where you belong. Give me a cannon. Get cannon where it belongs. Right here. There's cannon. You can hold your signs up. You can hold your signs up. Yeah. I want to introduce you to my all-courageous team. I'm going to start over here. Najari Jackson. Najari, championship swimmer. He's been to the White House because he's been honored. Autoimmune disease, he still battles. Vocal cord surgery at age 5, but nothing can get him down. You know what I love about this guy? He went out, it's called Pajama Buddies. And what he does with Pajama Buddies, he gets stuffed animals, over 4,000 of them, and he puts them and brings them to the hospital to visit kids that arrive in the hospital. Pajama Buddies. Thank you, Najari. Cole Eicher had brain cancer. His friends went out and they raised $5,200 for him while he was sitting at a hospital bed. He said, I don't want the money. I'm going to give it to my people that really need it. These kids, put it for research. And he's gone out with the Tampa Bay Rowdies and has raised lots of money. Love you, Cole. Thank you, buddy. Little Marissa. Oh, my God. Marissa. She was a dancer, a singer, but her cancer had to curtail. She couldn't dance anymore. But you know what she does? She plays music. And Scott, you know who she met when she was in Tampa? Who she was a guest of? Your daughter, Taylor. She met Taylor. And Marissa has her music on iTunes and takes the money and gives it to charity. My guy, Kyle. I mean, I go on and I told him the other day, he put me down as a recommendation for that college. We're going to get you in that school, no doubt. He wants to go to special. What do you want to major in?
Sports and entertainment management.
And where do you want to go?
Temple University.
Oh, my God, that's a cupcake. We'll get you in there, no doubt. But you see, Kyle, as a young kid, playing Little League Baseball, chasing dreams, one day came home with a headache. His mom, Jennifer, and his dad do what anybody else does. Take Advil, get better. It didn't get better. Turned out to be some serious brain cancer. Today he's cancer-free after all his chemo radiation. And today it works. So your dollars do work. I'll be back to you, and I'll be back to you. Right here we go. This guy, I met him in a restaurant, a great restaurant in Phoenix here, Beach Bistro. The owner, Mr. Murphy, came over. He said, Dick, there's a family in here. They don't want to bother you. You're here with your family and friends. He said, but they left a note. Their little boy just lost his eye to cancer. And they heard that you have one eye. Would you, at any chance, take a moment to call them during the week? I said, call them. Get them over here now. So they came to the restaurant. I met little Nolan, and today he's doing great. And remember what I told you. You could do anything you want with one eye. Just look at me, buddy. Take care. Great. Oh, this guy is special to me because his mom and his dad, his mom has been my agent for over 20-some years. She looks like 21, but she's been with me over 20 years with IMG and now the Montag Group, Susan Lipton. Susan, one day I was going to do a Final Four, and she says, gee whiz, Ryan Seacrest wants you to come to a hospital, a children's hospital. You heard about what you do for kids and meet all these kids and talk to them and cheer them up. And I said, sure, let's go. So we go there and we meet a bunch of terminally ill kids. I mean, parents there, and these kids were maybe 3-4 months away from really, really facing a big battle. And I went there. And after we left there, Susan went home on a Sunday. And a short time later, she called me up with tears. She says, I can't begin to tell you. Remember when we left the hospital? I said, I feel so bad for all those parents, what they must go through with their children battling that disease. She said, well, I'm now one of those parents because this guy had a fever. The fever turned to leukemia. The great news, I went to visit him in the hospital, smiling, can't do enough. The other, recently, he was rock climbing with a Navy SEAL. And the Navy SEAL said to him, so, you know, Jared, we got something in common. I'm a cancer survivor too. And this guy's doing really well. Right here, Jared Rascio. This guy brought me to tears big time. I was in San Francisco. The great baseball player Buster Posey's wife was at our event. Jeff Berry's here today, one of the greatest agents, creative artist, does a great job representing so many major leaguers. And he called me up, he said, Buster's wife was at your event. And she said, is there any way that you would hook up with Buster and go to San Francisco for an event? I said, of course, are you kidding me? He said, I'll give all the money. Buster and I talked on the phone. He said, all the money to you guys for the V Foundation. The only thing I'd like is for you to delegate the money back to the Children's Hospital in San Fran. We said, no problem. While I was there, Cannon, his dad and mom were there. And they got up and spoke. The mother and father got up and spoke. Tears streaming down their face because they were told by the oncologist, the only way we could possibly save little Cannon, he's got to, right now, we got to put him in a bed for 4 straight days and 8 hours, 108 hours, and intravenously, we got to ship chemotherapy in his body. But before we do that, we want you to sign these papers that you understand that there could be some serious damage. And the father was crying up there, and I was crying just watching him, feeling for him, signing papers that your child may go, well, the good news is they beat the cancer, but he lost his hearing, and he's just a beautiful young guy, Cannon Wiggins. Cannon. Enzo, baby, Enzo. This guy, Enzo, is something special. I mean, go through what he's gone through. A number of, yes, unbelievable bone marrow transplants. I mean, you name it, he's faced the chemo, radiation. Look at the smile on his face. Look how good looking. He's a champion to me, man. Enzo, baby. Right here. That guy, I got to know this guy a long time ago. When I got to know him years ago, my God, they were telling him he wouldn't walk. They said he probably not going to live. He had neuroblastoma, like stage 4, really battling. Today, he's playing college baseball. Jake Tarasca. Jake and Kyle came to me just last week, and they presented me big checks that they ran around in their area and had little fundraisers and raised thousands of dollars. This kid, Kyle, I can tell you right now, they're winners in the game of life. No doubt about it, Jake. My guy right here, Ethan, I tell you, Ethan, he came to an event we had about, I don't know, a month or 2 ago. You came right from chemo that day to be with us. And just another guy, fighter spirit, battling. What kind of cancer again is yours?
Osteosarcoma.
Yeah, so osteosarcoma, a bone cancer. And here it is, he's smiling. That's what amazes about all these kids. They can't do enough to help others. And they're always smiling, no moaning and groaning. This girl was a TV star. She was all over TV on ESPN on the Jimmy V week, and that's why we had to bring her here. Special as can be. Yes, Sadie Keller. She went out on Christmas time, and she got 4,000 toys she found to bring to the kids on Christmas. Yes, Sadie, thank you. This girl, she's been like my daughter. She's just an incredible, incredible person. Incredible. She's a 2-time cancer survivor with sarcoma, always smiling, and she has what's called Tatum's Bags of Fun. Tatum, I told you this last year, and I'll tell you again. She goes out every time there's a new child that comes into the hospital in Indianapolis. They call her. She comes to visit the child and brings them a bag with all kinds of goodies, books, basketballs, whatever. I know I've given her a bunch of stuff, but this is a champion, man. You're a beautiful girl, Tatum. Tatum. And I told you, I'm going to come back to you two guys. You see this guy right here, Urban? I told you last year that he was wearing a Michigan helmet and a Michigan shirt when he was watching Harbaugh and the Wolverines practice here. You told him that day, you said, hey, he's never playing for Michigan. I want that kid on my team. Talk about courage. What about a kid that does 1,200 doses of chemotherapy? What about a kid that's had 3 or 4 bone marrow transplants? And today he's cancer-free with a smile on his face, man. But Urban, you and Jim have no shot, because I'm hooking up with Coach Kelly, and he's going to the Golden Dome, and when he sees the Golden Dome, and he sees the blue and gold uniform, and he hears the greatest fight song in all of sports, he's going to play for Notre Dame, baby. All right. And last, my guy Tony. They don't come any tougher. You can bring me all your players, Bobby Huggins. You can bring me all yours, Coach Kelly, and Urban, and all the coaches, Charlie Strong, Vince Dooley when he coached down in Georgia. Bring them all. I'd take Tony. 6 times he's had relapses. He's battled and battled sarcoma bone like you can't believe. It's spread. You never ever see this guy with a frown, smile on his face. The Lightning have done an amazing job. They love him. He's super tight with John Cooper, their coach. I know Mr. Vinnick and all of us, and all this room right here, I want you to know, because I know you're going through a tough time right now. It was tough for even to be here. We pray for you, buddy, and we love you. Keep fighting. God bless you. I thank you so much for being so patient and allowing me to talk about my kids, my champions, the ones that get me going. Because of my involvement in cancer now for kids, my wife can tell you, I don't know how they get her email and how we get, I don't have email, she does, but we get requests constantly about this child and that child. Cancer in kids is 24% up over the last 4 decades. We got to stop it. There's only one way we're going to stop it. We can't turn our back to it. I'm doing it selfish reasons. I want my grandkids, God forbid that ever comes, that we got research dollars available. So I beg you and I plead with you. And I want to thank our honored guests here tonight. Bob Huggins, love you, buddy. I know Bob a long time. You see this tough guy, give me a break. I know him at Akron when he didn't pay me anything to speak. I couldn't give you a commission. I couldn't give you a commission, Harry. He didn't pay me. He gave me $25 on a bologna sandwich. Well, you see, Bob Huggins, heart of gold. His mom died of cancer, and his best friend, he said, my mom was my best friend, and I'm going to do what I can. He's raised a lot of dollars for her. Coach Kelly, his beautiful wife, is right next to him. She's a two-time cancer survivor, breast cancer. Coach Kelly's done wonders. Kelly cares, and he does care. And I'll tell you something else about him. You know, I spoke about it yesterday as Jeff was there. You tell a lot about people. Not when you give them the gold trophy. Not when you put him there as the champ. You tell a lot about people, how they handle tough times. That's what a winner is. We all face tough times. Everybody in this room, I will guarantee you, whether you're a zillionaire, billionaire, you've had something in your life that's been a little obstacle. Maybe a marriage didn't turn out right. Maybe a job didn't turn out to be the expectations you thought. Maybe along the way, someone you loved didn't make it. We all have those bruises. But how you handle the bruises. I lost my eye as a kid. I thought it was the end of the world. But I came from a great home of a mother and father, uneducated, 5th grade, but taught me never, ever, ever to believe in can't. And I stand in front of you today. When I got fired by the Pistons November 8th, 1979, I thought it was the end. I got on the phone 2 weeks ago, and I called a lot of my buddies up. Dave O'Brien, Jim Calhoun. I called Lenny Elmore. I called Andy Katz. I said, guys, I know you're down now. You lost your jobs, you're down. But you have two choices. One, you can feel sorry for yourself. Or two, you pick up the pieces like a champ and you go on. And if I could go on in my career, after I was fired, I thought it was the end of the world. I thought it was the end of my 30s, living a dream. 70, I'm in the 6th grade teaching, coaching high school state champions. In 7, 8 years, I go, my God, from assistant coach at Rutgers, head coach Detroit, youngest athletic director and head coach in the country, and then bam, you're fired. Boy, a baller dream comes to an end. But you got to pick them up when things get tough. These kids are tough. These are champs. I want one last ovation, and I say, God bless to all of you. Thank you. I share one other item, Mary. I share one other item. I got a text message here just before I came up, and I was remiss in me not sharing it. It was from Chris Berman. Chris Berman said, Dick, you know how much I want to be with you, man. I love you, brother. He goes, I love you. I want to be with you so badly, but you know, with Kathy's situation, I can't. But I'm with you in spirit. Please tell all the people there, I love them. I thank them for their prayers. And I will tell you this, don't leave until the end. Because Chris gave a message to Chris Fowler and to George Bodenheim, who's going to talk a little bit about Chris, that is going to blow you away. Because it blew me away when he told me what he's given. Thank you.